Hi guys, welcome back. So today we'll be continuing our rating climb on chess.com. So we still have 4 more games to go in order to get our initial rating. From then we can increase it. So let's just start the game. We get the black pieces this time. So what will black? Okay, white starts the game with e4. Let's go with the Sicilian defense. It is a very common opening when white plays e4. Knight f3. Let's go d6. Bishop to c4. Now this is a very common setup in the Sicilian defense. Let's go with knight to f6, attacking the e4 pawn because it's undefended. Knight to g5 attacks the pawn on f7. This is like very commonly played at the beginner level. So let's play e6 in order to block it. Next move, we'll probably play h6 to kick out the knight. And if, okay, white defended the pawn. If white did not, then we can play h6, force the knight move and take the pawn. But we're still going to play h6 and kick out the knight. Now after the knight moves, since we played h6, even the bishop cannot come to g5 later on to pin the knight. Now we'll play bishop to e7, or should we play knight to c6? Let's go knight to c6. Develop the knights before the bishops. Now we'll go bishop e7, then we'll go castle, then maybe a6 b5, bishop to b7. We can continue like that. a3, let's go a6. Okay. So bishop to e3. Now it's gonna start getting interesting because we have tactics enabled. d5, attacking the bishop. Okay. Now if takes, takes. And if you move the bishop, we'll push and then that's a fork. Okay, and even if bishop takes, knight takes, queen takes, so we can actually play that immediately. So I'll say let's go for it. Yeah, this is mostly the case when you put a bishop on e3 or d3 and the knights are on f3 and c3. Black, actually it's the same for black as well if you like put your bishops here. That's why mostly you just put the pawns on e4 and d4. Mostly during the Sicilian, black just tries a d4 break and black just tries off like that. But here we're getting a piece and fork. We will be getting a piece 100%. Even if e5, we'll play knight to d7, counter-attacking the pawn. Not counter-attacking, we're just saving our knight, attacking the pawn, and this fork is still there. So there's a difference between a fork and a double attack. A fork is when one piece, such as the pawn in this case, is attacking two pieces. A double attack, on the other hand, is when two different pieces are attacking two different undefended pieces. Such as, let's say theoretically, if this knight moved, this knight was attacking a piece here, and then the bishop was attacking a piece there. That's called a double attack. Like I said, e5, we go to d7, attack the pawn on e5. Like right now it is actually hanging. But we'll first take whichever piece white gives. Or if white gives us the choice, we're going for the bishop. That is interesting. That's very interesting. So if we take the knight, white will probably take on g7 and then we'll go to a h7 and attack the bishop again. And then if bishop goes to f6, we actually just take, and then you know what, yeah, I want to take the knight. We're still a piece up and now we just attack the bishop. You cannot go to any of these three. Your only option is to go to f6, where I take with the knight, you take with the pawn, I take with the bishop, and so I get a pawn back. And then we have like, we have a bishop while white has a pawn. Oh, and don't forget this two files, semi-open files. So knight takes, and then we'll just take it to the bishop next. And we'll either take or, and now we get the rook. Okay, white should have just played b3 or maybe just rook b1 and allowed takes. But this was not good because this allows another fork, and now we have an extra rook instead. So white can just resign in this case. So it's white's pawn against our rook. Wow. Let's go ahead and offer a trade, shall we? Trade off knights, then if you do accept, trade off queens. If white accepts, that is. So, yeah, of course, white does not accept. And I think b5, bishop b7 is not a bad idea. Now bishop to b7 attacking g2. Then we can go queen to g4. We can also just go like queen to f4 and attack h2. But I'm pretty sure after king to g1, everything's defended. The king is safe. Not really, it's just not safe at all. But then after queen f1, I think it's safe. Until I get my other rook and like queen h4, no. But I still want to just put the bishop on b7. And now we can actually just long castle and then get the rook to g8. Long castle in this position would be crazy. So yeah, let's just long castle. So long castle, and then since the rook is here, ooh, that's interesting. If takes, queen takes, check, I block with the rook. Okay, nice. And now if another check, I just put the king on d7, and yeah, you don't have any more checks, and this is defended by the bishop. I have that threat to win your other rook. Let's just take. And now you have 3 pawns against my rook and bishop. It's just those 3 versus these 2. So you can go check there, you can go check there. But whatever you play, you're not gonna really... Yeah, I'm pretty sure after king to d8. Yeah, king d8. And now if you go to g8, I should go to d7, where you don't have another check. I mean, you can go to g4, but I just trade. Yeah, expected. Now I think king c8 and no more checks. Yeah, no more checks. So now I'm just gonna get your rook. If I can somehow get my king to a7, I'm just safe. And I'm pretty sure queen e3 just threatens mate in 1. And then if g3, I just take on f3 and all that. Yeah, since you can't really do anything, I'll just go to e3. Because you still don't have another check. You can't really do anything else. That is checkmate. You can play g3 or g4. Queen takes. Only option is king to g1, and then queen to g2 is just checkmate. Oh, queen a5 can prevent checkmate, but only for one move because I just have b5. I mean b4, sorry. And this one is defended by the queen. Yep. White just resigned. And that was the second game out of 5. Let's analyze the game. Okay, we had 2 great moves, 12 best moves, 0 mistakes, 0 miss, and 0 blunders. Okay, the computer just thinks we're like crazy players. Game rating 2100, 2300. That's crazy. Ooh, opening accuracy 98, middle game accuracy 94. That is crazy. So e4, c5, knight f3, d6, pc4, knight f6. Knight to g5 is an inaccuracy. After e6, d3, h6. The knight's gotta go back. Yeah, the knight's gotta go back. Knight to c6, knight to c3, b7, a3, a6. This was the blunder because of d5. I found the tactic nice. And then d4. And then there's knight to d7. Yeah, bishop to h6 wasn't really a great move. It was alright, I guess. Takes, rook h7. This was actually a mistake, but in a hopeless position like this, yeah, it doesn't really matter. Oh, I guess it's because if you don't take on c3, then there just takes, and that pawn is always annoying you, because like later on I can just try to promote it later. But then we have to take, so knight to d4, knight trade. I activated my bishop, and yeah, queen e3 just threatens mate. Even the computer says it's made in 5. It made in 5, yeah. I can just try to annoy black a lot, just sacrifice everything, but in the end, black just wins. So that was it for today, guys. 96.4% accuracy. That's nice. So if you enjoyed this game, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.